Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with a new PlayStation VR game review. That's right, this time I'll be reviewing Trover Saves the Universe. Well, what can I say about Trover Saves the Universe other than the fact that I hope you don't mind foul language. Yeah, that's an understatement. Well, you know what, what's his name? Justin Roiland, I think his name is, the creator of Rick and Morty, made this. And it shows because this guy has got one heck of a foul sense of humor. But my question is, to you, the fans out there, their other game that he made was called Smith & Smith's Accounting, Smith & Sons Accounting Plus, I think the name of it was. Is this game an actual game? And is it better than his previous game? Well, stay tuned to my epic detailed review of Trover Saves the Universe to find out. Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another PlayStation VR review. This time I'm reviewing Trover Saves the Universe. It was developed and published by Squanch Games, pretty much the game company that Justin Roiland, the guy that created Rick and Morty, actually has, and it was released on May 31st of 2019 on the PlayStation VR, the Oculus Rift, and the HTC Vive. It is an action-adventure platform game where you play as a chair-bound Cheropian. The best way to explain this character is, the world you come from, nobody ever gets out of their chairs. So kind of think like the characters from WALL-E, and it's kind of like that, you know, where you're stuck in your chair, and all you have is a game controller in your hand, and you move around in a chair. And you decide to team up with a character named Trover, who is a power baby, eye-hole-filled blue Muppet from hell with a very foul mouth. That's really the best way to describe him. And you team up to stop the evil Glorkon, who becomes super powerful after stealing your dogs and shoving them in his eye sockets. It's even weirder than it sounds. And the quest centers around you going and traveling around 6 different game worlds and some other little mini levels, solving puzzles, fighting enemies, and collecting power babies. There are 130 power babies total, and there are these little blue babies that are hidden throughout the game worlds, and also that you get by attacking with Trover with his little laser sword. And once you collect enough of them, they're mainly used for upgrades for Trover to get new abilities. You'll get stuff like a double jump, a glide attack, ground pound. He's got like a laser sword he attacks with, and you can get like a supercharge move and all kinds of different moves as you progress through. And you get a slightly, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you collect all 130 of them, you do get something interesting out of it. Now, your character also gets upgrades throughout the game as well with the power babies and characters along the way by spitting on you. And you'll get everything from your ability to, I wouldn't say really warp, but there's different levels. When you tap your button, you can zoom up a level, and if you tap again, you can go a little higher. And it allows you to look around the area a little bit better. So like if you have Trover going around a corner, you can kind of jump up and look over the corner and see him to keep an eye on him. But don't worry, if he's behind something, you'll see like the silhouette of him that'll help you control him. You also get the ability of basically telekinesis. Whatever you actually look at, you can lock on with your trigger button and actually hold on to it and use your plus pad to pull it towards you, push it away, or drop it. And a lot of puzzles are used that way, of stacking stuff to create like platforms, putting stuff in certain areas that allow you to reach another area, stuff like that. You also get a grab and throw ability that allows you to grab an item and then you'll look in a direction, it has like an arc, and you can throw it, and you do that for certain puzzles as well. And, like I said, Trover, he gets all kinds of different moves as well. The game is not really that long. Once again, I wouldn't really consider this a game. It seems to be more of an extended experience. I mean, it's a lot better than the Smith & Smithson's Accounting Plus game. This actually has more of a structure to it. It has better designed game levels, and it will take you anywhere from 4 to 5 hours long to get through it. And it's a rather decent game to platinum if you're looking for trophies on the PlayStation. It'll take take you probably give or take maybe up to 8 hours maximum to platinum the game. Now, the neat feature about this particular game is you can play it in a VR mode or without VR. So if you don't have a VR mode and you want to still play this game, you actually can. It does slightly change the way the control setup is a little bit different, with your analog stick moving your character around to look, and the little icon on screen is moved by your analog sticks to pick up items and move them around and stuff. But it is designed solely meant with the VR in mind, with different features, including being able to look around above you, around you, and by tapping your analog stick will move you to the right or left. And the main way you move around is Trover will find these little teleport beacons. Once he stands in it and it lights up green, by hitting your R2 button, you will teleport to that area. Since you do not walk in this game, that's the way they alleviate any sort of motion sickness, and it does work fairly well. The thing is with it though is, like I said, you go around, you look around, and as you fight your enemies, you control Trover with the actual control. You sit in your chair, no one attacks you or nothing. They attract Trover, and you move him around, and you press your buttons to attack and do platforming sections and stuff like that to solve puzzles. And it can be a little bit off at first, but if you've ever played Astrobot Mission or whatever it's called, it's very similar in terms of the way that game is played as well, with the way you control Trover. And once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty cool. Now, most of the game levels, I believe, have like 30 power babies that you can collect through them. And once you get them all, like I said, you get a little special thing at the end. Now, the main thing is the story. It's just so just such an odd game. A very, very odd game, and super foul language. It does have an option at the beginning that allows you to actually censor the game, but that kind of defeats the purpose of it. I mean, but man, if you don't like foul language, do not play this. Every 2 seconds, it's nothing but cursing. F this, F that. I mean, the amount of F-bombs and everything else that's said in this game, hands down, it definitely earns its mature rating. And the only thing is Justin Roiland, that does the voices of Rick and Morty, does the voices in this, and you can tell, because I'm sorry, every character sounds like Rick or Morty, okay? He may have a versatile voice, but in this, every single character either sounds like Rick or Morty. Trover sounds like Morty. All the other characters sound like Rick. I mean, when you play it, you're like, yep, that sounds like Rick. That sounds like Rick too. And it is a fun game. Some of the puzzles can be kind of challenging until you figure out what to do at first. But other than that, it's not really that difficult. In the later levels, they kind of mix it up with having you actually fight as Trover, fighting enemies, while you're actually doing stuff with like your powers, like the telekinesis of moving stuff around. And it can be a little daunting, but nothing that you can't get used to, or it's not really super overwhelming at all. And the other thing is when you're playing in the actual off VR mode, when it's not in VR, when there's certain things that'll ask you yes or no, you have an on-screen prompt to actually pick yes or no that you move the cursor over. But in the game, I've noticed if you actually shake your head yes or shake your head no, that's how you pick the answers to it. And it does have you going around pretty much brutally murdering people, and on your quest to get super strong, learn enough moves to be able to stop the evil Glorkon from destroying the universe. And I have to admit, it is a fun game. I really like this because it does play more like a real game than the last one, Smith & Smithson's Accounting Plus. But honestly, it's kind of grating. It starts off funny, but the sheer amount of dialogue and just the overall abundance of foul language, I found myself getting kind of annoyed by it because it's excessive. I mean, like, they never shut up in this. I mean, they never once ever quit talking, and every time they talk, it is going to be a curse word pretty much. And I mean, it gets a little annoying. I mean, it's funny at first, but after a while, you're kind of like, okay, I get it. I get it. It's obviously supposed to be some sort of social commentary or something. But after a while, it's like, geez, you could have toned it down a bit. It does have some really good tongue-in-cheek moments, some really good jabs at pop culture references. And all in all, if you have a PlayStation VR, an Oculus Rift, or a Vive, I do recommend checking this out. Now, the game will cost you about $30, at least on the PlayStation Network. And as far as I know, I don't believe there is a physical release copy for this currently. There is only a digital download. Now, for $30, I do find that a bit much. I wish it was like $20 for the overall size of the game. But hands down, for the actual fun factor of the way the game plays, which is very well done, and also the fact that it does have an offline mode to play, so if you don't have a VR, you can play it as well, which does kind of defeat the purpose. I mean, you can tell the difference just being able to look around and see your character's body in VR compared to not being able to do that at all when you're playing not in VR mode. And they do say they will have upcoming free DLC for this game. So I do give them props to that. There is no microtransactions, there are no loot boxes, and they're giving you free DLC in the future. So I do give them credit where credit is due. It is a welcome addition to the PlayStation VR library. And if you actually have extra $30 lying around and you're looking for a new VR game to play, I can honestly say for the replayability, to be able to go around and find all 130 of the Power Babies, it is kind of worth it for $30 considering they will be having free DLC in the future. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please leave in the comments below if you played this game, if you plan on playing this game, and what you think about it. Make sure to hit that like icon, the bell icon, and hit the like button. That way my videos might actually be recommended by the YouTube robot algorithms to other people, so I might be able to make some gas money. And in the end, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details and not the Power Babies. Peace out.
You stupid piece of shit!